Hi, this is a artist rendition of my son, Gregory Chavis, who is also known as YB in the community that we lived in. In October 2004, he lost his life at the hands of NYPD. During that time is when people of color, our community, experienced an extra additional flux of police in our community in the name of preventing and solving crime. The circumstances surrounding my son's death was that he was shot by a stray bullet intended for someone else. And he was one block directly in front of Lincoln Hospital when it occurred, and his two friends who were with him were en route carrying him to the hospital when NYPD pulled up and demanded that they put him down. Quite naturally, they refused. They said, he's been shot, he's injured, we're taking him right there to the hospital, which was in clear sight, directly in front of them. NYPD cocked their weapons and threatened to shoot them if they didn't put my son down on the ground. Of course they did, and the two friends were put into the patrol car, and as the people began to gather, fussing and cussing, demanding to know where's the ambulance, police made a call, but it was for more police. Okay, they called for more police instead of an ambulance to aid and assist my son. And as a result, my son laid on the curb, one block in front of a hospital. According to the medical examiner's report, he had every probable chance of survival had he gotten the medical treatment that was needed. So while the mayor and the commissioner and the people of this community insist on the need of police in the name of solving crime and preventing crime and protecting and serving, my son needed assistance and it was not given. The police did nothing to assist them, nor did they even help those who are trying to do so. So I'm the last person that they can convince that police are in our communities to serve and protect us. We have had generation after generation and years of victimization by the police in the name of stop and frisk. Stop and frisk was going on in the communities of color long before stop and frisk came to the attention of their nation. There were blacks and Hispanics in my community who were being stopped, cussed out, checked, unprovoked by police on a regular basis, who couldn't hardly believe that what was being done to them was illegal. That's how normal the process was. They had no idea that what police was doing to them is illegal. From 2004 to this year, I have marched and demanded justice with many of the families that you see here. And I have seen the escalation of police brutality and murder, followed by carte blanche denials for justice. It is my opinion that families who suffer the life of a loved one at the hands of police should not be made to hit the streets and march and beg and plead for justice. Justice should be given swiftly. When police are accused of a crime, there's a great hesitancy to charge them and prosecute. But when people in our community are simply accused of a crime, within 72 hours, we will be arrested, we will be charged, and we will be brought before the judge. But even in clear-cut cases such as Eric Gardner, where the nation witnessed a man being murdered by use of an illegal chokehold, ain't nobody been charged for it today. Nobody has been charged for it. It's not an isolated instance. It happens every time a police has been accused of murder. They break their necks and their backs and their faces to prevent from bringing charges against him. So we have a disparity in the judicial system where blacks and Hispanics are arrested and prosecuted based on an accusation alone. But when you have evidence of a murder committed by police, still no charges are formed against them. I say we need a federal prosecution against the prosecutors who refuse to prosecute police who have committed murder. And I say we need a national outcry that is demanding police accountability, not just here, not just in Ferguson, not just in Albuquerque, New Mexico, not just in California, but across the United States. This government free. And when you have families across the United States who are made to march and beg and plead, well, goddamn it, where's the justice? If we got to beg for it, then it can't be a land of liberty and justice for all. We see a punishment that has been due bankers and corporations who rob, stole, and steal religiously through the people, but none of them is in jail. We've seen the government take out money and bail out banks while still giving them the ability to come knock on your door and ring your doorbell talking about when will we be paid. Something is wrong here in the United States of America when people up top can look down low and see the carte blanche murders of police and be silent. Something is wrong here in America when people have to come and tell you the situation with the murders that's going on as if you don't see it. In this age of high surveillance, eavesdropping, phone tapping, surveillance in the street, why don't you know about the murders in the street? For years and years in my community, when people of color were murdered, police gave the excuse that we can't arrest nobody because nobody would tell us who committed the murder. Nobody wants to drop dime. Nobody wants to snitch. Well, goddamn it, why don't you just watch the videotape? You got them on every block. Ain't that what you said the tape was for? So what's your excuse? All these things show that NYPD, police in general, across the United States, have no intention of protecting and serving. They are protecting and serving, but it ain't us. Let's not get it twisted. They are protecting and serving, but it is not the people. The people are being terrorized, marginalized, incarcerated without cause, and they've made it legal. This thing must go national. Ferguson and in New York City. Inasmuch as New York City, NYPD in particular, is being looked at and followed behind all other law enforcement organizations and activists in New York City need to take this fight to another level. We cannot afford to be ignored anymore. Please sign the demand for national action, which you can Google by simply typing in the search bar, National Action Against Police Brutality. We have 15,000 signatures and counting. We want to use that petition as a means to galvanize the nation into action. The power is with the people, not with the paper, but goddamn it, sign it to show them you mean business.